Did you hear about the woman who stayed at a Days Inn hotel here in DFW, Texas, and the front desk man used his master key to enter her room unannounced several times? Disclaimer, this is all alleged. This is Melissa's story, but she does have a couple of videos from her hotel room that she talks about in this story posted on her page. So her page will be right here. Go watch those. Basically, she lives in New York City, but her home office for her job is here in DFW. So on October 18th, she flew in and she was supposed to stay till the 22nd. For reference, she said this is the Days Inn by Wyndham off 360 in Trinity here in DFW. If you know, you know. So the first day was no issue. She checked in, she slept, she left the next day, she came back, she got ready, she went to a birthday party. Well, when she came back at 7:30 a.m. the next day, because it was a crazy birthday party, she said she noticed that some stuff had been moved around, and she was the only one staying in the hotel room. So if you've ever stayed in a hotel room, you know that when you leave your stuff somewhere, it should be exactly where you left it when you come back, especially because she had a do not disturb sign on the door. So no one should have been in the room. So basically, she gets back at 7:30, she gets naked, she hops into bed, she gets a couple hours of sleep before she's supposed to go back to work, and then at 11 a.m. her light flips on, to which she grabs her phone and starts recording because she's like, who the fuck is in my room? She said she pulled her covers up and she had her phone like this and she was recording, and she shows this video but from the bed you can't see the door, so the light comes on and then the light goes off. She said like 5 or 10 minutes later she heard people talking. It was a man and a woman at this point. Light comes back on, so she starts recording. Again, she also has this video on her page. And then a woman comes around the corner, looks startled to find Melissa in bed. Then the gentleman comes shortly like behind her, sees her. They like lock eyes and stare at each other for a second. She says that she tells him to like get the fuck out like 3 different times. She said, get the fuck out, when they came around the door. They lock eyes. She said, get the fuck out again. Then she said he walks away and goes to the door and I guess tries to like say something to her, and she's just like, get the fuck out. At this point she texts her friends and she's like, what do I do? So they say, well, call the police. So she calls the non-emergency line. They're like, this is not something we're gonna come do anything for. No one's hurt, nothing was stolen, like call the hotel. Her phone starts ringing and it's the front desk, so she picks it up and slams it down. And then a few seconds later, she go ahead and like gathers herself, decides to call the front desk, and she's like, I want a refund because I don't feel safe here and I want to leave. And then the guy at the front desk told her, well, I'm going to have to contact my manager in order to get you a refund. She said she got dressed, she got ready to like go do stuff for the day. On her way out to run errands, she stopped at the front desk and she was like, what's going on with the refund? And he's like, I talked to my manager, we can't give you a refund. She was like, well, I'm going to be back at 7 p.m. to come get my stuff. You're gonna give me a refund and then I'm gonna go somewhere else because I don't feel safe here. She still had 2 more days to stay at this point. She also made sure to tell him no one is allowed in my room while I'm gone. And then he proceeded to tell her that the do not disturb sign wasn't even on her door, that it must have fallen off. So then she shows a video of the do not disturb sign on her door and her like swinging the door back and forth to show that there was no way her sign just fell off. Like, it's not that easy. It couldn't have just fallen off. So she says she thinks someone removed it. And she was like, well, someone had come into my room previously too because my stuff was moved. And he was like, you're a liar. He said the only reason he even came into the room was because she was yelling and screaming at housekeeping. And she was like, no, I only ever said anything to anyone when you came around the corner and locked eyes with me and I told you to get the fuck out. So she leaves to go do whatever it was that she was going to do, and she gets a phone call that says, no, you need to come back, collect your stuff, and then you need to leave. She said she did. She turned around, she came back to get her stuff, and her key had already been disabled. So she had to wait for someone at the front desk to re-able her key so that she could go up and get her stuff. She ended up having to call the Better Business Bureau and corporate and her bank before she even got any kind of refund, and the only refund she got was for the 2 days that she ended up not staying. She said she did get an email from the GM saying that they were sorry for her experience and offered her a 25% discount for the next time that she stayed there. And then she points out that she looked at reviews for this specific hotel, and there are reviews saying that this almost this exact thing happened to them also. She said basically this was just really scary, and she just wanted this to be a PSA to anyone else that was going to stay there. Just be cautious of this hotel. So if you go to her page, she's got all 3 videos. The video of her trying to get the do not disturb sign off. She's got the video of her light being flicked on and flicked off, and then they leave. And then she's got the video of her light being on and off, and then they come around the corner. So, you know, that would be kind of scary. You're laying there naked, and all of a sudden someone barges into your room, and you think you've got a do not disturb sign on the door, and they're just coming into the room. Like, what are we doing? So, heads up.